You have seen this, right? A UX portfolio that looks too perfect. Every case study has a beautiful persona with their name, age, quote, even a cute stock photo. But here's the thing, that persona, it's completely fake. No research, no validation, just decoration. And you know what? Recruiters can instantly tell. So in this video, let's talk about why you should never fake your personas and what you should do instead to make your portfolio stand out for the right reasons. Hey, my name is Bharat. I have been a UX designer for 8 years. I write a dedicated UX portfolio newsletter condensing my hiring experience into practical portfolio tips. You can subscribe for free. The link will be in the description. And yes, I have seen this pattern of faking portfolios again and again, especially with young designers. They think if portfolio does not look like the ideal design process with your research, persona, journey map, wireframe, prototype, then it'll not look complete. So they fill in the gaps and they try to create fake personas just to make it look polished and so-called professional. And I get it. There is this pressure to make your portfolio look professional. But trust me, this one mistake can cost you your credibility. Now let me explain why this happens. See, most design schools, YouTube tutorials and even Behance case studies show the textbook process. They start with the research, then they go for personas, then they do journey maps, then they define the problem and so on. But here's what they don't tell you. Real world design is never that linear. Even in top companies. I've worked in startups, I've worked in larger orgs, and guess what? There is no single ideal design process. It changes with every project, every team, every timeline. So if real companies don't follow a perfect process, why should you fake one in your portfolio? Here's what happens when you add a fake persona. You're basically saying, I didn't do this step, but I know I was supposed to do it. And the recruiter can spot that. They look at your persona and think, there's no connection between this and the final design decisions that you have taken. And that's a red flag because it shows that you might not know why each step exists in a design process. Remember, personas are not there to decorate your portfolio. They are tools to make design decisions easier. So if your persona never influenced your decision, it's meaningless. So what should you do instead? It's simple. Tell the truth. If you didn't have time to do research, say that. If the company didn't have a research culture, say that. If you don't have the skill or resource to do it, say that. But don't stop there. Tell them what you did instead. For example, you could say, we didn't have the time to conduct user interviews, so I consolidated feedback from existing customer tickets. Or you could say, since we didn't have a researcher, I collaborated with my support team to identify top user pain points. Or you could even say there wasn't a persona building culture in our company. So I created a one-page summary of all the user needs and pain points from whatever data we had. Now that's practical UX. That's what happens in real world. And that's what hiring managers respect more. So let me tell you something from my experience. When I interview designers, I don't look for a perfect process. I look for how they navigate constraints because that's what real design is. Working with limited time, limited data, and still delivering something valuable. When you honestly call out the constraints, it shows you understand the environment. And when you show how you worked around with those constraints, it shows you can think critically and adapt to situations. And that's what separates a beginner from a mature designer. If you show only ideal world in your portfolio, the recruiter will think you can only work in the ideal world. And the practical world may not suit your style of working because you might have perhaps had it better in a different company. So why should you join our company, which is practical and is worse than the ideal world that you come from? So to sum up, you don't need to fake up the design process in order to tick off the checklist of an ideal portfolio. Be true and sell how you navigate constraints.